Ever wonder what it would be like to step inside a snow globe?
Some of the happiest I have felt is in the woods by myself. And I think being in the Adirondacks, you can find those places.
Where a boundless tapestry of winter wonders await. To walk the path of the athletic elite. Step back in time and bear witness to a miracle. Or just stand with snow-draped mountains carved by nature's unwavering hand.
What you are looking at today is probably going to be the same view that you're going to see in 100 years from now. And that's a special thing.
Tonight, Chronicle takes you there.
This is Chronicle on WCVB Channel 5.
Seasons turn and all the feelings are changing, and the sky is a bright Adirondack blue.
The Adirondacks sprawl over 6 million acres in upstate New York. To put that into perspective, that's larger than Yellowstone, Yosemite, Glacier, and the Grand Canyon National Parks combined. In the northern heart of the High Peaks region lies Lake Placid.
Majestic. There are many words to describe Lake Placid, but one in particular had its roots here, vacation. As the story goes, it began with the word vacate when wealthy people would leave New York City and come here for a breath of fresh air. Today, it remains a winter wonderland.
Lake Placid strikes a rare harmony that invites both serenity seekers and adrenaline enthusiasts alike. In 1932, this charming Adirondack village hosted the first Olympic Games in North America. Nearly a half a century later, in 1980, it became one of only 3 places in the world to host the Winter Olympics twice. Despite having just over 2,000 residents, this town continues to carry the Olympic torch with pride. From the summit of Mount Van Hoevenberg, a breathtaking panorama unfolds, every Olympic venue visible from a single vantage point.
This is the magic of a small town Olympic venue.
Absolutely. You can see the 2 tallest of our ski jumps.
It doesn't look as high from this perspective, but you get over there and it's pretty.
From this perspective, I would go down the jump.
The mountain is home to North America's first bobsled track, and lucky us on our visit, athletes from around the world were here to compete.
This deck right now is full of bobsleds that are training today for the North American Cup.
The track, just over a mile long.
How long does it take these professionals to get from point A to point B on this track?
Under a minute. They sound like a freight train coming down through the track. And they'll hit, in some of these turns, they'll hit 6 Gs. Spectators can stand right next to the curve and watch them fly by at 80 miles an hour.
My father's theory was he wanted to move someplace where the snow didn't get rained on. Spend a year as a ski bum, and 26 years later, I'm still here.
Drawn here by the region's pristine powder, Rebecca Dayton is now VP of Sports and Events. We meet her at the base of Lake Placid's iconic ski jump.
It's pretty spectacular. It can be a little bit intimidating if you're not used to it, and it does often cause people to question how someone could possibly do that.
And on days when the athletes are not competing, it's open for public viewing.
Lake Placid was the last of the small town Olympics that was organized by local community. When the games were over, there was sort of like, okay, now what? The state of New York actually stepped in and formed the Olympic Regional Development Authority to manage these venues.
Okay, 26 stories, about 250 feet high, and we are about to get a look at what it's like to stand at the top of one of these ski jumps here.
Just one more quick ride and elevator to the top.
It's absolutely incredible to stand up here and look down. Take a look. Wow.
They have a lot of guts to be able to go down that and no fear.
Would you do it?
No.
It's a little higher than I thought it was going to be, but I'd probably give it a shot.
Oh wow, look at this, Jen.
Just a few miles away, the Cloud Splitter gondola takes us to the top of Whiteface Mountain. You can almost hear the cold here, but the view quickly melts those thoughts away. Samuel and Gabriel came here from Quebec.
Here, the mountain is way in altitude. It's like way higher.
At more than 4,800 feet, it stands as the 5th highest mountain in New York State, with 360-degree views of the Adirondacks.
I think it's a beautiful place. I recommend it.
Overseeing it all is the Olympic Center, home to a moment forever etched in the hearts of generations. The original scoreboard from the legendary Miracle on Ice.
The greatest sports moment in American history.
On February 22, 1980, a group of amateur Americans, 4 of them from Greater Boston, faced what most considered the unbeatable Soviet Union in a hockey game that would define the age.
We were up in the press box, up just below the rafters.
Sandy Caligiuri wasn't just a witness to history. He was a 28-year-old radio broadcaster calling the game for WNBZ as it unfolded. Midway through the final period,
You were here. Miracle on Ice. What was it like inside here?
It was pandemonium, it was raucous. The decibel level was like through the ceiling here.
But one word would echo through the noise.
This is a miracle, I can't believe it! And both Al Michaels and I used the M word. You know, so I guess it must have been a miracle. We were both kind of, like on the same page.
An historic upset so powerful it brought grown men, including this one, to tears.
I get up the next morning, just broke down and cried.
So good. And the Soviet Union took silver in the 1980 Olympic Games. And fair to say, some of the athletes were not happy with second place.
Right, a number of those silver medals were left behind by the athletes, and you can actually see those and much more at the Olympic Center Museum. Fun fact about Lake Placid, the only place in the United States that has sent an athlete to every single Winter Olympics Games.
Incredible. All right, up next, finding inspiration in the Adirondack woods.